Welcome to Eagle Classics, where we'll try to fill this break in the action in some small way by bringing you broadcasts of some of the biggest Bridgewater wins over the past decade. While the ODAC has always been a top Division III conference in baseball, current perennial top 25 contender and Eagle rival Shenandoah actually did not join the league until 2013. That rivalry really took off in 2014, when the teams met a remarkable 4 times in the playoffs, as Bridgewater went on to win a program record 36 games, claim their 14th ODAC championship, and reach the NCAA regional final. Along the way, the Eagles needed to score twice in the 8th inning to eliminate Shenandoah from the NCAA South Regional. The 8th inning would prove even more massive when these teams squared off in Lynchburg, however, to decide the ODAC championship.
We'll go through the starting lineups. First for the Eagles, leading off will be the right fielder, Nick Falk. Batting second, left fielder Ryan Fitzgerald. Batting third, playing second base, Brian Sanderson. Batting fourth, the third baseman Justin Peacock. Batting fifth, playing first base Brendan Howell. Batting sixth, shortstop Zach Hines. Batting seventh, the designated hitter Bay Liskey. Batting eighth, the center fielder Darren Yoder. And batting ninth and catching, Hunter Hensley. On the mound for the Eagles, Coach Kendall going with the freshman, Jordan Showalter. He's 2-1 on the year with a 1.42 earned run average. Lundmark to pitch to Nick Falk. We're underway. First pitch. Hit well. Left center field. Corbin Lucas. Did he make the catch? He did. Nice play by Corbin Lucas.
Shenandoah coming into our conference clearly in 2013 added a top team to our conference that was already very strong. Both they and CNU were powers within the USA South, and coming into the conference, our players had a mindset that we're not going to let this team try to dominate our conference like they were doing in the USA South. So it was a mission for the players not to let that happen. That were on the team at that time from 2013 and particularly 2014 group. And I guess that's where the rivalry began. Our 2014 team was very determined to accomplish what we let get away from us in 2013 after losing 2 championship game opportunities on the final day to Randolph-Macon. We went on and had a great year and had a large bid to the regionals at Memphis, Tennessee, and had a little success there, but there was still something left out there that these guys wanted to prove in 2014, and obviously they did.
Fastball at the letters, 3-1 to count. You wouldn't think, if you look at him before you see him throw, see his size, you wouldn't think he could bring it like he does.
No, he does. He puts everything behind it.
Fitzgerald chased one there. That's a pitch up out of the strike zone. Should have been ball 4. Instead, the count's full, 3-2.
I just can't let this go. This fashion update. Both teams changed jerseys in between games.
Fitzgerald, fly ball left field. Should be an easy catch for Pardo.
No, that's Freshly.
Pardo's in right.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, Freshly with the catch, 2 away. And that brings up Sanderson.
You know, Shenandoah changed from their all whites, which they'd worn the entire tournament, to their alternate red tops, which everybody can see on the video cast, and then Bridgewater with the traditional gray uniform for this championship game.
Nothing but hard stuff from Lundmark thus far, mostly fastballs. Mixed in one slider to Sanderson. Haven't seen anything resembling a changeup as of yet.
No, he's not used to that. He's used to going all out.
Gives up a base hit there. Sanderson lines it back up the middle. 2-out single for the Eagles. They have their first base runner and brings up Justin Peacock. The 2-2 pitch to Peacock. Breaking ball, there's a slider. That was a nice pitch. Peacock swings and misses, and the Eagles are retired. Curveball misses, 3-0 the count. I mean, if you could go back and check, Mikey Paul's probably led off more innings this weekend than most of the season. I've seen him up a lot in this tournament, leading off an inning with nobody on base. And if you're the opponent, that's what you want. First base hit of the game for the Hornets as Billy Aaron's kind of an inside-outside swing on that one. Hits it to right field in front of Nick Falk, and the Hornets have the leadoff man on, and that brings up Corbin Lucas, and I know Coach Anderson would like to get him going, but I think he's going to make him bunt here.
Yeah, he's going to take the bat out of his hands, I'm pretty sure. Game 2 today, starting off just like Game 1, Billy Aarons with a single to right field for the Hornets. And let's see if the Hornets can kind of string something together here in the first.
And it shows just what we know. He didn't square the bunt on the first pitch. Takes a curveball for a strike, 0-1 to count. Curveballs called strike 2.
Well,
Can
now,
they count quickly here against Lucas?
Yeah, now he's got to swing the bat.
Throw to first just to remind Aarons that he's still thinking about him.
Has not forgotten about him.
0-2 the count to Lucas. Grounded to third. Peacock. It's a second for one. On to first. And Lucas runs pretty well. That's going to be a tough turn. Ball thrown over top of Brendan Howell's head. Good job there by Hunter Hensley to back that up, doing what a catcher should do, hustling down the line with the runner. Lucas has to remain at first base. There's one away, and that brings up Nolan Overby.
So Lucas does not get the job done to move Aarons into scoring position. The Hornets give up an out in the previous play.
You might see Lucas try to steal a base here, try to get something going early if they're the Hornets.
Looking against Showalter.
Wow, that ball's ripped.
A lefty. You want to. He obviously going to take you a little bit longer to get a read on his move. It helps that they saw him up in Winchester a week ago, but you want to get that read, and it's a little bit tougher against the left-hander, obviously, than a righty.
Overby fouled the first pitch off. 0-1's a count. Off-speed pitch. Just got a piece of it. Fouls it back. 0-2 the count. Well, you have to like what you see out of Luke Showalter early. He's getting ahead of the hitters.
Yeah, and you said he was not going to be afraid. He was going to battle, and that's what he's doing. He's going after it.
He may get hit, but it's not because he's scared. Just because he's facing a good lineup and he's not locating these pitches. He located that one right where he wanted to, a little bit up and away, trying to get Overby to chase a pitch out of the strike zone. Count now 1-2.
Smart move.
Showalter would like to get a ground ball here in turn 2, and then you get to face Mikey Paul with nobody on base. Runner goes. They got him picked off. Throw to second. In time, Lucas picked off. Two away now. The count's still 1-2 to Overby.
You wonder if Lucas was going on first motion, maybe a hit and run type of situation, and a good job by Showalter to be patient, and he gets the pickoff.
Pitch misses outside, 2-2. And again, usually as they play during the season with two-man crews, that could be a balk. But if you don't get it called with a four-man crew, you're pretty sure it's not a balk.
Yeah, it's not happening.
So it had to be a good, legitimate move. Swing and a miss at the curveball. Showalter retires the Hornets in the bottom of the first inning. No runs on a hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. We've played
Playing
one
on
inning.
championship day is really what it's all about. It's what you live for as a player. And we had a group of guys that were going to lay everything on the line that day. This is what they strived for the whole year, to get back to that moment, to have that opportunity. We had a deep and veteran pitching staff. We had a very senior-laden team that was very determined to accomplish the task. So I felt pretty good going into that
1-2
day.
the count. Shows him the fastball away. 1-2 the count.
No, this is what you're looking for out of a freshman starter. Get in there, get a little confidence, have some success.
That ball hit the left field. Fitzgerald couldn't get there. It's in the gap. It'll be a double for Dan Powers. 1-0 the count. Grounder to second. Sanderson knocks it down. Makes the throw in time for the out. Showalter gets out of a little bit of trouble in the second.
Missed class time at this time of year is not something, that's almost a non-starter.
Falk on the run, can't get there, the bloop single. That'll bring up Corbin Lucas with 2 runners on and 1 out.
And that's unfortunate. It was a high flare, and Falk he's got good speed. He's just playing too far off the line, and he wasn't able to get to it. So if you're a Bridgewater fan, you're upset about something like that because Showalter made a good pitch, and you should have gotten an out on that play. But just where Falk was playing, he wasn't able to catch up to that baseball.
Yeah, he got a good jump on it. He just couldn't get there. And if he can't get there, nobody on the field is probably going to get there.
Nobody's getting there. So first and second now with 1 out. Hey, Corbin Lucas, you're in a bunting situation.
Off-speed pitch is a ball. Well, if Lucas can get a base hit here, some of his past bad at-bats of this tournament or unproductive at-bats would be forgiven.
Yes. He can wipe all that away with by putting the bat on the baseball.
1-0 the count.
In this appearance.
Showalter looks the runner back to second, steps off the mound. Getting to the meat of the order, Overby on deck. You'd like to get your ground ball here and try to get 2. Hunter Hensley asked for time, the Bridgewater catcher. He wants to go out and talk to Showalter.
Maybe get on the same page in terms of what their signs are. I don't think maybe they were 100% with that. You talked about that a little earlier in the last game. When you got a runner on second base, you maybe change up the signs just a tad so the hitter doesn't get an advanced look at what's coming. Half those guys don't want to know what's coming anyway.
That's what people don't realize. A lot of hitters don't want to know what pitch is coming. That ball's tattooed left field.
Oh,
that's going to be a double play, maybe. Sanderson makes the catch, steps on the bag. I don't think the runner was going on the pitch. I think he just misread it.
He got a bad read. That's on Ricky Pardo. He's supposed to be picking up third base coach Kevin Anderson, and he did not do so. Kept on going. He slipped when he was trying to get back, and it was an easy double play. 7-4 in your scorebook.
So Showalter, with a little luck, gets out of a jam there, puts another 0 on the scoreboard. We've played 3 complete. Still scoreless. We'll be right back. As Lundmark has been sharp, which is impressive considering, as you said, he hasn't pitched a whole lot this year. Sanderson's 2 for 2. He's seeing the ball pretty well off Lundmark for some reason. He ripped that one to left field. The first time he lined to hit the opposite way. So the Eagles have a base runner, and that'll bring up Peacock. Second hit of the game for the Eagles, both by Sanderson.
Probably too early to play small ball, but you never know.
Fastball on the outside corner at the knees. 0-1 to count to Peacock. Sanderson takes his lead over at first. Fastball's down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Breaking ball lined up the middle. Hit the umpire in the leg. Is that dead when it hits the umpire? What's the call?
If it hits the umpire, it's part of the play.
That's what I thought, but this first base umpire threw his arms out safe as soon as the ball hit the umpire.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I don't understand what happened there. I thought the ball was in play. In a way, it's a break for the Hornets because it might have went to the outfield and could have runners at first and third. Also a bad break for the Hornets because it could have been an out.
Oh, yeah, he got him at first base.
I don't understand what the call was there. The ball was ripped. It was hit hard.
It was hit hard.
Howell now the batter. He takes a fastball for a strike. Well, whatever was called must have been right because no disagreement from the Shenandoah dugout.
Yeah, Kevin Anderson did not come out, so obviously he was in agreement with what the ruling was.
Change up outside. Bittner able to block it up. Count evens at a ball and a strike. Still one out. The Eagles with a pair of runners on now. Sanderson at second. Peacock over at first. That's 2 balls in a row. Been hit pretty hard. And these batters are seeing Lundmark for the second time now. Like something off speed there, and the count's 2-1. Bittner going to go out and talk to his pitcher.
Well, we talked about it. His longest ever appearance was 4.2 innings, 4 2/3, and he's at 4 1/3 right now. So this is, regardless of his health, I think we're at the outer edge of Cam Lundmark's effectiveness.
Like you said, stamina could be an issue. And he's like you also said, he's a little guy. He's like a max effort guy. Every pitch takes a little effort from the kid. He throws hard for a small guy, I'll tell you that. Pitch is high, 3-1 to count. He's starting to get up in the zone a little bit.
And you got nobody up in the pen, so this is not a situation where there's going to be an imminent change.
Zach Hines is on deck for the Eagles. I think if he walks this batter, you're going to have to start seeing some action in the pen.
Quickly.
Throws the strike at the knees. Looked like Hal was taken all the way there. Runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Peacock at first. Sanderson out at second. Payoff pitch due to Hal. Runners go. Ball hit left center field. Could be trouble. It's down. 1 run scores. Peacock being waved home. He'll score. 2-run double for Hal. The Eagles are on the board. They lead it 2-0. That ball hung in the air a long time, but the center fielder, Corbin Lucas, was playing Hal a little bit to pull that time. He had a long run, just couldn't. He's like the ball Falk was chasing last inning, just couldn't get there.
Yeah, could not get there. He's getting 2 up.
Breaking ball in there for a strike. 0-1 to count to Hines. On deck, Bayliski. There's a right-hander starting to throw.
That's Cody Voris.
Base hit, left center field. Hal being waved around. Here comes the throw back to the infield. It'll go to second. Hal scores, and it's 3-0. Bridgewater lead. And the second time through the order, the hitters have obviously made an adjustment to Lundmark's fastball, or maybe his fastball's just lost a tick.
Yeah, he's lost a tick off that fastball. And it's like we've been talking about all day. It's in these guys with the short rest and relievers in starting roles. How you got to have the quick hook on them, and it's like how far can you can extend it out? And like I said, Lundmark, he's about a 4-inning guy is the outer edge of what he can do.
Bayliski steps in now. The Eagles on top 3-0 with Hines at first base. Liski asked for time. Lundmark is staring in at the catcher. Yoder is the on-deck hitter for the Eagles. Throw to first. That's a bad throw. Bad's being nice. That was a terrible throw. He threw a lawn dart, and a good job by the first baseman. He didn't even try to catch it. He just tried to get something in front of him.
Yeah, he just whatever he had to do to keep the ball from going all the way to the wall.
Dan Powers over there. That's a nice play. Hines could easily be at second, maybe on third, if he doesn't get some body part in front of that throw.
Yeah, he gave up the body to keep that ball in front of him.
Lundmark the pitch to Liski. Comes up and in with the fastball. Ball 1 to count.
All right. Voris is ready.
Somebody must be waving their hat down there. That's a universal sign from the bullpen that the pitcher's ready to go. Breaking ball. Man, Liski had a good cut. It's kind of a hanger. He fouled it straight back. Breaking ball misses away. 2-1 to count.
He's laboring. I think this has got to be his last batter.
Up and in, ball 3. 3-1 now to Liskey. Now there's somebody in the dugouts waving their hat, asking again just to make sure. Three-one count to Liskey. Misses inside, ball 4. Runners at first and second, 1 out. Darren Yoder will be the batter. Hensley will be on deck. No one moving out of the dugout just yet. The catcher's going to the mound to waste another 30 seconds to a minute. Make sure the reliever gets a couple more pitches if necessary. He'll walk all the way back to home plate, and then we'll probably see Kevin Anderson walk slowly to the mound, and we'll get a pitching change.
But the thing is, Voris isn't doing anything except for standing there watching. He's not throwing more pitches.
He's waved in that he is ready.
Wow.
I'm surprised. Doesn't look like we're going to see him just yet.
Yeah, I thought for sure this was going to be it. Kevin was going to get him.
Yoder steps in to face Lundmark. Fastball at the knees. Yoder showed bunt. I think he was just taking that pitch all the way. Try to get the infielders. You show bunt, you get them to come in a half step. Sometimes that gets you a base hit on the next pitch.
Yeah, you can squirt one by him.
0-1 to count to Yoder. Pitch in the dirt. Looked like a changeup. 1-1 now the count. Eagles lead by a score of 3-0, trying to add more. Runners at first and second, just 1 out still. Fastball's up and in. 2-1 to count. What's hurting Lundmark right now, he can't throw his fastball in the strike zone.
No. He's lost a touch off of it, and he can't locate it for strikes. He's up in the zone.
2 balls, 1 strike to Yoder. Catches the inside corner, belt high with that pitch. 2-2 now the count. The 2-2 pitch to Yoder. Grounded to second. McDaniel to short for 1. Aaron's to first. They won't get Yoder.
He runs well.
He runs well down the line. Nice play to get the middle runner, I guess, with runners now on the corners. Get the force out at second. 2 outs for Hunter Hensley. Hines is your runner at third. Yoder down at second. The catcher Bittner giving some defensive signals. You got to be aware of the steal situation here. The stop, the go and stop, get caught in a run down, add another run. There's lots of things coaches like to do.
Yeah, every round is obviously precious in this ball game. So Bridgewater, you got if you're a Shenandoah fan, you got to look out for Bridgewater trying to steal one.
Pitch in the dirt. Bittner blocks it. Ball 1 to Hensley. And if you're Shenandoah, you don't want to see Nick Falk come up this inning. The top of the order is due up next. Nick's 0 for 2, but he's one of the most productive players the Eagles have. 1 ball to count to Hensley. Time called in the box by Hensley.
So just like we talked about yesterday, kid's 3 for 3. He's due to make an out. Falk's 0 for 2. He's due to get a hit.
The 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball. Hensley started to go, held back, and the count's 2-0. Yeah. Coach Anderson knows these players a whole lot better than I do, but it just seems like he's playing with fire a little bit right here. I know he wants to get out of this inning. 3-0 the count to Hensley. If you walk here, then you break the pitcher in, he's got no room for error.
Right. If he brings Voris in, Voris is going to have to get an out. You're facing a kid who was 2013 Player of the Year, and you've got to get him out.
3-0 pitch in there for a strike. 3-1. I wouldn't be surprised if Hensley's taking all the way on this pitch. Force out of the stretch. The bases are full. The 0-2 pitch. Hit well to center field, but right at Corbin Lucas for the out. And that'll end the inning here for the Eagles into fourth. But a productive inning as they get to Hornets starter Cam Lundmark for 3 runs. We've played 3.5 innings. Hornets have the runner in scoring position. Bittner at second. The batter's now J.J. McDaniel. And we'll see if that kind of turns the tide of the game. You never know. Sometimes it just takes one play to change the total complexion of the contest.
Well, you look at it, Joe Bittner hit that ball hard. And I'm watching that. That's just not fair. He's not going to get a hit on that. He made great contact, and then Falk drops the ball. You don't ever want to get rewarded that way, but there is some justice in the fact that he made great contact with the pitch.
2-0 the count, and let's see, maybe that rattled Showalter a little bit. You never know. He should have had a 1-pitch out to start the inning. Throws the curveball. 2-1 to count.
Steady diet of curveballs to J.J. McDaniel today.
Like I say, I've watched Falk play for 4 years. He's as good a defensive outfielder as you're going to find in the league. That just doesn't happen. Another curveball. McDaniel probably chased one out of the zone there and fouled it. Went off his leg or foot in the batter's box. And the count's 2-2. Pardo on deck.
Instead of trying to swing at 115%, JJ needs to dial it back to about 85. I think it'll be more successful.
It looks like he's pressing a little bit, and he's a good hitter. Everyone knows that, and he's just struggled this weekend. That happens to a lot of good baseball players. You don't hit all the time. If it was that easy, 300 wouldn't be considered good.
Yeah, 300, you're failing 7 out of 10 times.
Pitch outside. The count's now full to McDaniel. Pardo, the on-deck hitter. Payoff pitch. Wow. I'm surprised that wasn't a strike. He started running before the ball was even caught.
I can't disagree with you. He was rather aggressive and moving down the line.
That was a pretty good pitch. It might have been outside. That pitch has been called a strike before in this game.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
2 runners on, nobody out for the Hornets. Pardo, the batter. Will we see him bunting here?
Yep, nobody out. He's definitely putting the bunt down.
Get you back to Billy Aarons at the top of the order, who's 2 for 2. I don't think there's any question you have to bunt. Gallant heading to the bullpen for the Eagles. Robert Gallant going down to the pen. He is going to start to throw. The bunt is down, but it'll go foul. And see that. I don't understand, kids. It's obviously a sacrifice situation, and maybe that's the way he bunts. But he dropped the bat like he's bunting for a hit.
Right.
Square around, put it on the grass for me.
Exactly. Don't get cute. Don't try to beat it out. I mean, yeah, it's great if you do, but just get it down and get Bittner for over to third base.
Kevin Anderson's gonna be tickled to death if this kid bunts into an out and moves the base runners. He'll high-five him as he goes back to the dugout. Now he was squaring early that time.
Right. He probably gave him one opportunity to bunt for a quasi-bunt for a hit. Now it's definitely get the ball down and get him over.
Pardo squares. Curveball. Now that's the same pitch that was called a ball on the 3-2 pitch to McDaniel. Do you bunt with 2 strikes?
Yep. Yep.
I disagree with you, except I've seen Kevin Anderson do it 2 or 3 times already in this tournament. It is your 9-hole hitter. You definitely like to move the runners up for Billy Aarons. Peacock's learned his lesson. He hasn't backed up because I think they bunted on 2 strikes for a hit in the previous game, I believe.
Exactly. This is one of these deals where Kevin he's get the guy over.
Bunt it.
And he's
foul.
out.
So that'll go down as a strikeout. The runners will return to their bags as they were trying to move up. So it'll be runners still at first and second. Now 1 out. It's another instance where why are you trying to put it that close to the line?
Yeah, you don't have any room for error anymore. You got to get the bunt down. Just get it down. Put it on the grass. Make sure it stays on the grass.
And you know that's just got to irritate the coaching staff because I can tell by the way you talk that's something they work on extensively.
Yep. They work on that every day in BP.
Top of the order, Billy Aarons. He's 2 for 2. Runners go. Swing and a miss. Hunter Hensley had the double clutch, so the double steal. Now they're where they should have been with the previous batter, so it works out in the end. But it's a little more risky.
Right. Oh, yeah, there's a heck of a lot more risk there. So, and you had to take that risk because Ricky Pardo didn't get the job done getting the sacrifice down. So now you're where you want to be if you're Kevin Anderson. You've got runners second and third, 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out, and your leadoff hitter with 2 hits already today up at the plate.
Pitch from Showalter. Fouled off. It's 0-2. Of course, the Eagles infield, they're playing back. They'll trade a run for an out here. They don't want the big inning. They get out of this inning. Obviously, they want it to be 3-0, but they'll take 3-1 right now.
Yeah, that 3-run advantage gives you a little bit of cushion to play with.
Showalter ahead in the count. He's thrown 2 curveballs. Let's see what he comes with here to Billy Aarons. Line drive up a middle, base hit. They have to hold the runner at third. Shenandoah have runners at first and third. 1 out. 3-1. Bridgewater leads it, and that'll bring up Corbin Lucas. That run there is unearned.
Correct. It should be 2 outs in this inning. So the Hornets on the board with their 4th hit of the day, and Billy Aarons 3rd.
That'll bring up Corbin Lucas, who's 0 for 2, and we've documented his struggles, but the last time he had a good at-bat, he couldn't hit the ball any harder his last time up. He's got a chance to make it a 1-run game with a base hit right here. Just about anything he puts in play on the ground will probably score the run, unless he's a hard guy to double up. He'll have to hit a 1-hopper hard right at somebody to get doubled up.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, Steve.
He's going to squeeze him in?
I'm going to squeeze. I think he's going to squeeze.
I was thinking that's a possibility, but
what you got at third base, the runner you got at third base, the runner you got at first base. Lucas is bat control.
throw's going to go to first.
The other part of it is because Showalter's left-handed, he can't see McDaniel break.
Yep.
So this is an advantage in a squeeze situation.
Billy Aarons with a big day. He's 3 for 3 thus far. Grounded is short. They'll go to second for 1. On to first, not in time. Lucas just runs too well. The run scores. It's now 3-2. And that run there will be unearned as well.
Yeah, that should have been the 3rd out of the inning. Yep. Should have been out of it. So
a pair of unearned runs for the Hornets. They now trail it by 1, and that'll bring up Overby. Lucas at first. I'm going to say he'll probably try to steal a base here in this at bat, especially if Overby gets behind in the count. He's inching off. Showalter throws to first.
Corey Nelson, if you're listening, I hope you're taking notes on the earned runs versus earned runs. Always something that we have conversations about.
And they can be tricky at times. A lot of times it's just pretty straightforward. But I want to try to keep Lucas close at first. Ball in the gap, he would be a definite threat to score all the way from first base.
Yeah, because he's going to be running on contact, obviously.
The ball's hit a ton to left field. A ton.
Wow.
Home run. Overby. Shenandoah leads at 4-3. And all of these runs will be unearned.
Nolan Overby just put a charge into a baseball. This ballpark does not give up home runs easily. He earned every bit of that one.
You're talking double billboards all the way around. That fence is what, 12, 14 feet high easily.
Yeah, it's probably I think it's 16 feet. I think that's an 8-foot fence.
Yeah, you're probably right. So not only do you have to hit it a long way, you have to lift it to get it over those boards. And Showalter's just going to settle down. He gave up that bomb there, but he should have been sitting in the dugout.
Yep.
The Eagles just got to settle down. Still a lot of game left to be played. They trail it by a run, 4-3. Mikey Paul now the batter. Showalter back to work. Pitch is high, 1-0.
It takes Lundmark off the hook.
Gallup heating up for the Eagles in the bullpen. Curveball, that's hit well. Toward the gap, right center. Nobody's catching that one either. All the way to the wall. Stand up double for Paul. He's got a lot of experience. Pitched a lot of innings during his career. First pitch lined up the middle, base hit. Run's going to try to score. Paul doesn't have to run well. Yoder didn't field it cleanly. Not sure he'd have had a play, but you never know.
Yeah, they're not going to give him an error there because Mikey Paul never stopped running, but it would have been a close play at the plate had he been able to come up that ball.
Jordan Showalter on the mound, which was a good matchup. He was a guy that pitches backwards, all speed stuff. They're a very good fastball hitting team, and he did a good job through 5 innings. We made a mistake or two that created some unearned runs, and while he left losing at the time, Robert Gallick came in, and he just shut the door and really pitched probably the best I've seen him pitch, and he was doing that down the stretch for us, and he gave us a chance to come back in that game and do what it would take to win the game and be the champion. So those guys did a good job. I remember when Gallick came in, because we were pitching backwards most of the time against them, the mindset at that point in time was, let's switch it up a little bit. Just throw a few more fastballs. Gallick's velocity was really up that day. I remember Hunter Hensley looking at me at times when I was calling fastballs and you kind of question it, but saying, okay, let's do it. And he truly blew the ball by him at times, and that was sort of fun to watch and watch it unfold. But it was an advantage, I guess, that was created by Showalter starting the game and kind of taking a different approach and pitching them backwards initially. So it was a good and fun championship game from that perspective as well.
5 runs on, I believe, 4 hits this inning. 1 error, but it was a big error. Got the whole inning started. Just kind of snowballed on the Eagles here in the last couple batters. But you're in the big part of the order, and give Shenandoah a little bit of credit. They hit the ball and drove in some runs, but Gallup throws a good fastball there, catches freshly looking, and that'll retire the side. But not before Shenandoah takes the lead with a 5 spot here in the 5th inning. We'll go the 6th. It's Shenandoah 5, Bridgewater 3. That ball's hit well, way back, still going back. See ya, home run, Zach Hines. All of a sudden, it's 5-4.
That's what we're all talking about. This game isn't over until that last out is recorded. So
I think Hines' home run in the 6th was the statement needed for our guys that said this is not over. He got us within 1 run with that home run in the 6th. It gave us 3 innings to find a way to score another run, keep this thing going, or 2 runs to win it. So it was big. I thought it was really a big moment in the game for us and really lifted our players.
Curveball, strike 1. It's not like the Eagles haven't seen him. They saw him for 9 innings, and they probably was hoping they wouldn't see him again after those 9, because he carved Bridgewater up pretty good up in Winchester in a game that Shenandoah won 9-0. He went the entire way and threw really well. Off-speed pitch, 0-2. Petox in deep hole here early.
this is his 11th appearance of the season. his first relief appearance. Obviously, 9-1 on the year as a starter and the ODAC pitcher of the year.
0-2 count to Peacock. Way outside, almost threw it by Bittner. Wanted to go outside, he didn't want to miss that far, but counts 1-2. Peacock's got a battle in there. Going to try to find a way to put the bat on the ball, put something in play.
And Steve, you mentioned it. Bridgewater's got those T-shirts all in. Kevin Anderson, as if he was a poker player, he just shoved every chip to the middle of the table.
Peacock just got a piece of it. Count still 1 ball, 2 strikes to Peacock. Brendan Howell due up next. Ball hit to right field, long run. Johnson gets there, makes the play for the out. Eagles are retired in the top of the 7th inning. They leave 2 men on base.
Hit the ball hard a couple of times, though.
That ball's hit well. Yoder going back, not going to get there. In the gap, all the way to the wall. Lucas turning second. He's coming to third. Triple for Corbin Lucas.
He was rewarded. We talked about that. He hit the ball hard a couple of times and was not rewarded with hits. He hit the ball right at guys making good plays in the outfield, but that time got one over the wall and he just kept on running. So now the Hornets in a position, run around third, 1 out.
Ball gets past the catcher. It's an easy run here, especially with Corbin Lucas' speed at third. Strike 3, right down the middle. I think Overby was surprised he went after him 0-2 like that.
Yeah, he's got to be ready to swing the bat.
Kevin Anderson's got his hands on his hips, just staring at Overby as he goes back, saying, son,
this is a big game. Look, we're not screwing around anymore.
That pitch was right down the middle, knee high, and Overby just froze like he was expecting to waste a pitch. That'll bring up Mikey Paul. I'm not sure I'd pitch to him right here, but that's just me. Grounder toward the middle. Sanderson backhands. Throw to first. In time to get Mikey Paul. Close play. And that'll retire the Hornets. Almost hit him with that pitch, down and in. 1-1 the count to Hines. Eagles need a base runner. Down by 1. We're playing in the top of the 8th inning. Ball ripped down the left field line. Base hit. That'll go into the corner. Played pretty well down there. Hines heads to second. He's in with a stand-up double. So the Eagles still got some fight left in them. And Hines is having a big day. He hit the ball well the first game and 3 base hits this game. A homer and now a double, and that brings up Bay Liskey. Bay's 0 for 2. Due up next, Darren Yoder. That ball there was stung pretty good behind.
It was, and Mikey Paul dove for it, just missed it. That would have been an All-American defensive play at third base if he would have been able to come up with it.
Liskey steps in. Thompson takes a stretch with Hines on second. Curveball, called a strike. Yoder is your on-deck hitter. There's 1 out. We're in the 8th. Eagles with the tying run at second base. Pitch misses just low. 1-1 to count to Liskey. Thompson checks the runner. Misses outside. 2-1 to count.
Ooh, good pitch.
Must have been inside. 3-1 to count. One of the fans just yelled at the ump, "Don't squeeze the strike zone now." 3-1 to count. That's a good hitter's count. If you're Liskey, you're looking for a certain pitch in a certain spot. He swung, tried to check his swing. That would have been ball 4.
He swung so early that he actually got all the way back, I think, before the ball got to Joe Bittner.
Full count to Liskey. Payoff pitch. Misses outside. Liskey draws the walk. That'll bring up Yoder. If you're a Hornets fan, you're looking at the glass half full. It sets up a double play possibility, which would end the inning.
Yeah, but like you mentioned before, and we saw it with Yoder, he's very tough to double off.
Yeah, he's sort of like Corbin Lucas.
He's gonna have to hit something sharp, or it's gonna have to be something hit sharply right at Mikey Paul at third base, and you go 5-4 for the double play as opposed to all the way around the diamond.
Pitch to Yoder. Popped up. Shallow left field. Aarons drifts back. He'll make the catch. 2 away.
They still have Hunter Hensley in the lineup.
It's going to be Tyler Hoffman. Tyler entered the game last inning as
Yeah.
a defensive replacement, which I'm not sure whether Hunter might have got hurt or something because they usually don't. It's usually the other way around that Hunter will enter for Hoffman as a pinch runner late in the game sometimes, but I don't remember Coach switching catchers in the middle of the game just to switch. I have a feeling Hunter might have got nicked up or something. Eagles need a clutch hit. Senior Tyler Hoffman's the batter. First pitch is a strike. Eagles with the potential tying run at second base. That's Zach Hines. Liskey at first. He runs well if there's a ball in the gap. He could score. Curveball. Fouled off. Hoffman in a deep hole now. No balls, 2 strikes. Nick Falk on deck. Oh, 2 to Hoffman. Well outside, 1-2 the count.
The only run that Thompson gave up against Hampton City in the opening game, he 0-2 pitch, threw it way too close to the plate, and their kid right back through the box for an RBI single.
1-2 pitch. Ball's hit pretty well. Way back, nobody's getting that one. 1 run in, here comes Liskey. He's being waved around. We're going to have a play at the plate. No, the Eagles take the lead. 2-run double by Tyler Hoffman. Bridgewater leads it 6-5. And we talked about this yesterday. You look at Hoffman's stats, he's about a 200 hitter, except when he plays ODAC teams.
Right.
It's like he becomes a different guy. He bats up 280, 290, 300 area.
He down 1-2 and stayed with it and just crushed it to the wall. Ends up with a 2-run double. So Bridgewater retakes the lead now, 6-5.
I know many probably question my decision to enter Hoffman for Hensley at the catcher position in the 8th. All year long, those guys spelled each other, both caught somewhat equal a number of games and innings. Hunter Hensley was probably the more complete with a little catcher with and was a little better offensively. Tyler Hoffman was a senior. He was the guy that was really strong defensively, but was a 200 hitter. So when in the 8th inning he hits the game-winning double, knocking in 2 runs as a 200 hitter, it just proved that every guy on our team was a part of that championship, and it took everybody to get it done. And it was just a great moment for all of us, but especially a great moment for him as a player, and he made me look like a genius that day.
Surprised to see him throwing. I thought he would definitely be done, but. 0-2 the count to Falk. A runner at second is Hoffman. Pitch outside.
So that double also gets Showalter off the hook. And it's now
Gallett's game.
It's now Gallett's game, and the same thing on Shenandoah's side. Voris no longer in line for the win. This decision is on Thompson.
Base hit, right field.
No.
Got it. What a catch. I thought that was well over his head. Wow, what a catch.
J.J.
McDaniel.
J.J. McDaniel came back on it, leapt in, caught the ball, and it's no more damage. So
swing and a miss at the fastball, one away. Tell you what, Gallo dialed it up a little bit to that batter.
He did. He's got a little bit of adrenaline coursing through his veins at this point, knowing he's now 5 outs away from a championship.
Freshly the batter for Shenandoah. 0 for 3 on the day. Good old-fashioned hardball right now, as they used to say. Gallup, another fastball, and the Hornet hitter's not able to catch up to it. 0-1 the count. Missed high with that fastball, 1-1. That was Bittner, the on-deck hitter, catcher for the Hornets. Took a little bit off that pitch. Looked like a changeup. It was up in the zone. Swing and a miss, though, and the count's 1-2. Pitch fouled away. Over top the Eagles' bullpen. The count still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Went slider that time, missed a little low. The count's 2-2. Tough pitch to lay off of.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Not so much that it should have been a called strike, but impressed that Freshly was able to not pull the trigger on it.
Because he'd seen nothing but straight stuff. Gets the hard slider and he lays off of it. The count's 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll bring up Bittner. Bittner's 0 for 3.
The bottom of the Hornets lineup, 0 for 4, 0 for 3, 0 for 2, 0 for 1.
Gallett's first pitch to Bittner. Grounded to second. Sanderson gets a big hop. Throws to first, out. 3 away, a 1-2-3 inning for Gallett in the bottom of the 8th. We'll go to the top of the 9th. Bridgewater 6, Shenandoah 5. We'll be back. 2-1 pitch. Runner goes. Hit and run on. That's a nice turn. That's a heck of a double play. If the runner coming in like that. 4-6-3. That'll retire the Eagles in the top of the 9th inning. 3 outs to go. Bridgewater back at City Stadium. 3 outs remaining between the Eagles and an ODAC championship. And the Eagles underneath those jerseys are wearing a shirt that says all in. You're seeing it right here. Corey Armentrout back out to try to nail down his second save of the day. And the first one was 4 innings. It's not like he came in through 8 pitches and got 3 outs. He had a 4-inning save. And now he's going to try to nail down the save in the championship game. And this after starting a game Friday night. If he gets this save, I think the MVP of the tournament may be pretty well documented. But he's got to get 3 outs and 3 tough hitters. McDaniel, Lou Johnson, then Billy Aarons, red-hot Billy Aarons, who's 3 for 4. He's due up third. The key is the first batter. You keep him off the bases, it takes a small ball game away. If he gets on, bunt, base hit, and you're tied up, sort of like your sport, softball. You know that's what would happen in a softball game. First pitch, knocked down by Armentrout. Picks it up, takes his time, 1 out. 2 outs away from a championship. That ball looked like it was destined for center field. Armentrout got the leather on it, knocked it down, booted it around a little bit, but picked it up and took his time and made a good throw. And that'll bring up Lou Johnson, who's 0 for 1. He entered the game probably back in like the 5th or 6th inning when the Eagles made the first pitching change when the lefty Showalter went out. One out.
So tough matchup for Johnson, lefty-lefty.
First pitch is high. On deck, Billy Aarons. He's 3 for 4. Probably the hottest hitter on this Sunday afternoon. Curveball for a strike. 1-1 the count. That leadoff batter was so important. It takes the small ball out of the 9th inning at this point, at least. Fastball, strike 2 called. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Left that pitch high, 2-2. There's that old saying, you can cut the tension with a knife. You can really feel it here.
Yeah, you can.
Everybody's on the edge of their seat.
Yeah, everybody. A lot of.
Curveball, hit the second. Big hop, Sanderson. 2 outs. Eagles 1 out away from a title.
A lot of legs shaking and everybody. Nobody's sitting back just chilling out right now. Everybody kind of on the edge of their seat.
Billy Aarons, the batter. One of the toughest outs you could face in this situation. He's 3 for 4. Corbin Lucas on deck. First pitch from Armentrout. Grounded back to the mound. Armentrout steps. Championship, Bridgewater College. The Eagles, your 2014 ODAC champion.
Our regional run was pretty special as well. Our pitching staff matched up with our opponents pitch for pitch, and there were a lot of tough teams in that South Regional at Piedmont, and we won a lot of close games, and pitching kept us in it. We scored enough runs. We went 12 innings to get in the first game against Birmingham Southern, and really it was a pitcher's duel all the way to the end. We won the game because they made the mistake that we didn't make. Threw a ball away, and we scored one run in the 12th and won it 1-0. It just, our pitchers across the board pitched us through that tournament and gave us a chance to be as successful as we were. Then, we won our second game, and then it was all about, okay, Shenandoah's here. Now we're playing them in the winners bracket for who's going to be there on championship day. And so here we are again, matched up with the rival in conference team, and we ended up winning that game and advancing to the championship round. And they lost their next game, so that put us against Emory University, who we beat in game 2. And it just we had 2 championship game opportunities, and we'd been there, done that. They beat us pretty bad the first championship game. We lost a tough one in the second one, and obviously they went on to the national championship round. But to have that experience for our guys and to be 3-0 going into that championship day was just an accomplishment that our program hadn't had. And the credit goes to those seniors who really provided the leadership along the way. A bunch of players that just would not quit. Did not believe they could be beat, and really accepted the challenge of competing each and every day. And so it was a great year, great run. 2014 will be remembered for a long time. They set records for baseball and for the history of our program with 36 wins and advancing that far. So credit goes to those seniors and that 2014 group of players that really made it happen. And like I said, it'll go down in history as one to remember.